beautiful people. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I definitely appreciate that. To all the new people stopping by my channel, hi you guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on that bell notification so you're notified each time I post a video. And to all of my returning subscribers, hey y'all. And so today's vlog, you guys, is going to be a 1 month update for little Miss Nora and a 1 month update of my postpartum journey. So if you want to see all of the things that have happened during this first month of Nora's life and my first month of postpartum, then definitely keep on watching. Hey you guys, so before I start this vlog, I want to give a huge thank you to Carla and her husband from the channel Jess Vlogging Life. They sent little Miss Nora some gifts from off of our registry, and I definitely want to tell you guys thank you so much. Here's a picture of the gifts that they sent, and let me tell you, we will definitely be using these. We'll be using the little play mat for Nora's tummy time, and once Nora weighs just a little bit more, I'll be able to wrap her in our little Moby wrap that they gave us. So thank you so much, Carla. Thank you so much to your husband. I definitely appreciate all of the love that y'all showed baby dear throughout this pregnancy journey. And so enough of that, you guys. Let's go ahead and get into this 1 month update, guys. And so if you see me looking down, it is because I have my notebook here, so that way I can tell you things that has happened during this month. If you don't know, Nora was a gender surprise birth. So yeah, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get into the updates and everything that has happened during her first month. And so when Nora was born, she was 6 pounds and 8 ounces and 19 3/4 of an inch long. Nora was the smallest out of all 3 of my babies. If you don't know, I also have 2 other girls as well. So Nora was the smallest, but as far as height, she was the second tallest. And so what I have jotted down for her 1 month is before we left the hospital, Nora weighed 5 pounds and 14 ounces. And so she actually lost about a half a pound prior to us leaving the hospital. So when we got discharged, that was the weight that she was, and the staff as well as the pediatrician did not seem concerned, just because since Nora is a breastfed baby, they said that you would see a drop in her weight just because her first days of life, she's just getting colostrum. And so so she did drop in weight, and she also had her first appointment about 4 days after we were discharged from the hospital, and in those 4 days she had gained 2 ounces. Now her doctor wanted her to be back at birth weight by the time that we had our next appointment, which was 2 weeks later, just because he was concerned about her growth. He did ask me 50 million questions about how much was she pooping, how much was she peeing, was I having any difficulties breastfeeding and things of that nature. And at the time I didn't see any difficulties, but he was adamant that she did need to gain her weight back to her birth weight by her next appointment. So with all of that being said, I started ramping up my breastfeeding just because I was trying to get her on a schedule of every 3 hours. However, that was just not feasible for her, and she needed to be on a schedule of every 2.5 hours. And so that also helped increase her weight gain. However, I did notice that we were having some issues with latching, and she wasn't latching as much as possible, as well as my diet wasn't as good as what it needed to be. And so I ended up increasing my calories, which in turn helped her gain her weight that she needed to gain. So I also put on here that I did meet with a lactation consultant 3 times when I was in the hospital. That is something that they have as standard in the hospital that I delivered at. And so I was able to get a 30-minute to an hour session with the same lactation consultant, which I thought was great. And so her tips and tricks did help me as far as my nursing at home. Next, when we went to Nora's follow-up appointment, she did gain her weight. And so as soon as she was placed on the scale, you guys, She weighed 6 pounds 8 ounces, which I was so excited. Now that to me meant that I was breastfeeding right and she was getting all the nutrients that she needed, which y'all know if you are breastfeeding, that is like one of the biggest concerns that you have is your baby getting enough? How do you know your baby is full? All of those things. So just the fact that she was back at her birth weight, y'all, I was elated. So that was one of the tasks that we had to accomplish during her first month. But while even though we were doing that, we did implement some things that we were doing. So we are on the play, eat, sleep schedule. So that means that basically we want her to play for a little bit, eat, then go to sleep. I'm lucky that my husband is home with me. He will be home with me for a total of 7 weeks postpartum, which I think is freaking amazing. And so we've been tag teaming, especially during the day and the night. Sometimes I take the night shift just because it doesn't make sense for both of us to be up, and then he takes the day shift, or vice versa. So we're just trying to find some type of balance. But since I know that he is going to be going back to work pretty soon, I'm taking on the blunt of a lot of things myself, just because I do have to get used to him not being here. And so with that schedule, we also have tummy time. And we do that to let Nora exercise, and typically we do the bulk of our tummy time in the afternoon, because that's when her sisters come home from school. And so they are in charge of the tummy time in the afternoon. And when they do tummy time, they also use flashcards, you guys. We are using the flashcards to help strengthen Nora's neck, because she will be crawling eventually, and her having a strong neck and her being able to turn her head and also follow objects is very, very important, especially when she goes back for her visits. You guys, real quick, backtracking back to her schedule, and since Nora is back to her birth weight, we are trying to increase her schedule to 3 hours. And her pediatrician also said it is okay if she sleeps a little bit longer during the night, so we're not having to wake her up for her night feedings. He said if she wants to sleep, let her sleep. Just check on her, you know, the usual things that you do as a parent. Okay, you guys, so since Nora is a month old, y'all know it's not going to be that much to update, but I am going to be updating you guys on my postpartum journey, so that way you guys have an idea of what's going on, especially post C-section. So I'm going to go ahead and get into that right now. Like I said, if you see me looking down, it is because I'm looking down at my notes, because y'all, I can't remember everything. And so I went in for delivery with Nora. I weighed 150 pounds, and upon leaving and being discharged, I weighed 138. So I was back to my pre-pregnancy weight within those 4 days of staying in the hospital. Also, my OBGYN did put me on bed rest for 2 weeks, because he said I did not sit still. So while I was home for my first 2 weeks before I went to my pre-op, I could not do anything. No cooking, no cleaning, no washing clothes, no sleeping, nothing, you guys. So for 2 weeks I was on bed rest, and that, it is standard, but it's not standard. But my doctor felt like it was best, just because he said I did not rest. So I did take advantage of that time just to get, you know, just acclimated and just relax a little bit. I did sneak in a couple of cleaning sessions, and I did sneak in a couple of loads of laundry when Joe would step out to go do things with the girls, but I definitely tried to take it easy. So during those 2 weeks, like I said, I definitely tried to take it easy. And my pre-op appointment that was scheduled was so he could monitor my blood pressure, and then also make sure that my incision was healing properly. Upon me leaving the hospital, they did remove my staples and just added the I guess the little tape strips to make sure my incision stayed nice and shut. And then over time, with you taking a shower and things of that nature, the tape strips do fall off. So once I went to my pre-op appointment, my OBGYN checked my incision. He said that everything looked perfect. He said I was healing wonderfully. They also checked my blood pressure at my appointment. My blood pressure was 135/89, and my weight was 139. So I had gained back a pound or some ounces between discharging and being at home. Also, I wanted to note that during this time, I did start taking my placenta peels the second week of my postpartum journey. And so if you don't know, I did get my placenta encapsulated, and that means that I reached out to a company and they actually took my placenta and made it into a peel form. So I am taking those tablets as of today, still taking those tablets. And so it took my placenta encapsulation specialist a week to get me those peels. And so I had Nora on a Wednesday and I had those peels by the following Wednesday. And so I took the peels starting the following week. So I started taking them on that Monday. And you guys, I could definitely tell a difference with taking the peels versus not taking the peels. And I will definitely keep y'all updated on that. I will have a whole vlog on having taken my placenta pills for 1 month, just in case you're in the market of wanting to get your placenta encapsulated. You know what to look for, what not to look for, and if the things that they say help during, you know, taking those pills, if it's really accurate. Look out for a vlog about that. So next thing I put on here is that my recovery is going amazing. And I did mention this to just about everyone in the hospital, as well as my OBGYN, just to let him know, like, this is the best recovery I've ever had. Typically when I've had a C-section, I do get around pretty good. I do a lot of moving around, but I do experience pain. I also mentioned to him when I went to my 2-week appointment is that when I've had my C-section in the past, I haven't been able to get in the bed and lay down. I've usually had to sleep on the couch for like 2 days or 2 weeks. It just depends on, you know, my pain level and how much moving I can do. And you guys, like, literally I came home, I was moving around, I was walking like I didn't even have a baby. I was able to sleep in the bed, I was able to lay flat. All of the things that I was scared of doing, I was able to do with this recovery. So this recovery has definitely been a breeze. I do have still like a numbing sensation around my incision, and then also I mentioned to my OBGYN that my stomach, I felt like I had rug burn, and he did mention that that was my nerves coming back to life, just because they were cut. And so I was experiencing a little bit, I'm not gonna say discomfort, but I could feel, you know, just something different with rubbing against my stomach. And so he did mention that that was normal and nothing to worry about. So the last thing that I put on here that I wanted to notate, you guys, was that my blood pressure while I was in the hospital remained low the entire time without me being on any blood pressure medicine. And I was definitely impressed with that, because when I've had my past C-sections, my blood pressure did skyrocket, but it wasn't enough for them to administer medicine or render like any type of additional aid, but it was high. When I had Carmen, my blood pressure had skyrocketed to the point to where I was in stroke range. And I guess no one really took it seriously while I was in the hospital, and it didn't become a true issue until I got home. And so that was something that I was definitely adamant about this go around, is just making sure that my blood pressure did stay normal and that I didn't have any complications post-delivery. But yeah, you guys, that's pretty much it of everything that we've experienced. A picture here of little Miss Nora, so you can see her her photo shoot that we had here at the house, as well as her 1 month picture, you guys. And she is already growing so much, and I can't believe like she's a month old. Like, this is freaking crazy. But yeah, you guys, that is going to be it for this video, and it looks like my co-star is asleep, so now I can get some other work done and just lay her down for a little bit. But that is going to be it for this video, you guys. If you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell notification so you never miss an upload, you guys. And until next time, you guys, we will see you on the next one, and talk to you soon. Bye.